Bueno, mi gente, bienvenido a episodio número 7. Dos Amigos Hobby Hustle Podcast. I am your host with the most. This is Joe. It's my co-host, Daniel.
What's up, yo?
We back. Took a little break. Somebody was getting their money, getting paid. So not me, him. I'm
Growing.
broke.
Career growth.
We back. We on track. And it's time to get y'all on track. We got a lot of stuff to go through. Got a lot of stuff that's happened in the last 2-3 weeks with the store, with Comic-Con, products. Yeah, we moving, we growing. It's been a wild ride. Let's start off with college football. We got the FS Pooh shirt on. We got the game back here. A replay of the game last week. We were live in effect. I'm always live. Daniel came out for the first time this week, or for this first time this season. So, how was that game experience for you?
Yeah. The game was lit, bro. The energy was fire.
That's how we do it.
Like, even pregame, just leading off to kickoff, and it was cool. It was a good experience. As somebody who grew up a UM fan, to be able to go and sit in that game, like, comfortable, relaxed. Just,
you know you were going to win.
Just knowing we were about to dominate, you know? And, man, yeah, nothing short of that, bro. Pure domination the whole game.
Offense was running it at will, 200-plus running yards. Damian Martinez came out, showed out. He's definitely going to be a high draft pick.
Yeah.
Cam didn't have to do much, just 200-plus yards.
Fletcher, I think Mark Fletcher had a good game too, no?
Yeah, Mark Fletcher's a beast. Our running back room is pretty stacked.
Yeah.
It's crazy how stacked it is. There's players that, like our third string and fourth string, I think, would start at most schools. We got a nasty room. Once Damian leaves, then you got a nasty room right behind them with Chris Johnson and AJ. So we're gonna be good for a little bit here. Yeah. I don't see any fall off like FSU.
We're gonna have to figure out a
Mario
quarterback.
area.
That we're gonna have to do. We definitely have to figure out a quarterback.
Yeah, I mean we got Emery on the team. So Emery is I know they got a lot of belief in Emery. Emery is a beast. I'm sure he'll play in one of these last 4 games if we're having a blowout here. So they'll definitely put him in. But they're redshirting him this year so they don't burn a year for him.
Yeah.
So he played last year when TVD went down. He beat Clemson. So I would say he started off pretty good. That was his first game starting ever as a true freshman, straight out of high school, beat Clemson. And then he should have beat FSU, but his last drive, he broke his arm. TVD gets in the game. First play, TVD coming in, throws an interception right to FSU. We lose the game. So, but yeah, he's seasoned. I definitely think they'll definitely look around. Because why not? You know.
Yeah, I think
you got to have the competition in your room. And if the guy that you bring in the portal wins, then boom, you're good. If he doesn't, and Emery is the best, then even better.
That works too.
We got a nasty kid coming in from Georgia next year for 2025. He'll be a true freshman next year. So we definitely got kids in the wings that are coming. But yeah, I mean our team is definitely stacked and it's not built like just to harp on FSU again, like FSU. FSU, if you look at their classes under Mike Norvell in his 5 years, he really hasn't done well recruiting high school. He's ignored high school and just went 70% portal.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, you can't. It has to be a good balance. Like, you want to do probably 70-30, you know? Like, a lot of the people that we transferred in from the portal, they're not even starters. Like, Damian is a starter, okay. Cam is a starter, okay. You don't have much, after that. Like, Mark Fletcher, recruited from high school. Jacoby George, recruited from high school. Xavier Streppel, recruited from high school.
And on the defensive side?
Defensive side, you got Misha Powell, who is a transfer. He's not even that great, but
what about this kid that plays on the line? His last name I think is
Barron. Yeah, Tyler Barron. Tyler Barron's he's a transfer in from Tennessee. But
Bro,
then you got Ruben Bain, who's the #1 defensive lineman according to PFF.
Eligible for draft this year?
I think he has one more year if he wants it, but most likely he probably wouldn't take it.
Yeah, he's going top 10 for sure.
Yeah, he probably wouldn't take it. We got Ruben Bain for another year. This is his second year. He's the highest rated defensive lineman. He's sophomore, recruited from high school. So we have our offensive line. I think there's only one player that's a transfer. Everybody else is recruited from high school. So that's how you got to do it. You got to do 70-30. You definitely need portal players. You don't want to not take portal players and be like Clemson.
Yeah.
But you also don't want 70% of your team from the portal. So you got to get that balance. But Miami's 8-0. Got a game in 2 hours. So I'll be there in 2 hours. We'll be 9-0, hopefully. So we play Duke. Duke's coach is Manny Diaz. Manny Diaz was Miami's former coach. I think most Miami fans hate
him.
Manny Diaz, not because he's necessarily a bad guy, but because of how sucky he was. He did not a great job as a coach. So like he was handed a great team by Mark Richt, and he drove it to the ground pretty quick. He had 2 good seasons, but even those 2 good seasons were like we lost games we should have never lost. He hit on some aspects, and then other aspects just completely missed the mark. You can't be Miami and lose to FIU. Like he's the first coach to ever lose to FIU. He probably should have got fired on the spot right there. I mean, there's not a lot of good memories with Manny Diaz in Miami, so you're definitely the boos are gonna be insane today for him. I'm expecting another FSU type game. I think they're gonna try to defend the throws like crazy. They don't want anything downfield, so they're gonna force Miami to run it. Miami will win that way. I mean, it sucks for Cam for the Heisman, but if you ask Cam doesn't care. He said it this week. They asked him about the Heisman. He's like, I don't care about the Heisman. I want that national championship.
Yeah,
which is great.
You're supposed to say that. As a player, you're supposed to answer that like that. But, Cam, I feel like Cam, that's truthful, bro. Like, he's not that type of player. He's not here for the glamour. He's not here for the fame. He doesn't care about those accolades. Like, this kid wants to win. That's what he cares about.
Yeah, I mean, he came here because he was going to get drafted day 3, is what his grade was. So he said, okay, I want to put myself in a better position, a team that's going to be better than what I'm been on, and a team that could actually win, and then I could show that I could win. And that's what he's done so far, and that's what we've done so far. And now we just got to keep going. But, I mean, I would love for him to get a Heisman just because it's nice. It'll be Miami's 3rd Heisman winner.
What was the last one?
Oof, long time ago.
Shit.
Gino Torretta and Vinny Testaverde were the last 2.
Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, Vinny and Gino Torretta. So it's been a while for Miami. It's been a while. But, I think we have a shot. I mean, as long as you keep winning and as long as Cam gets 1 or 2 touchdowns, then it's pretty hard to go against him. Travis Hunter, I think, has a shot too. But if you look at Travis's competition versus Miami's competition, like their last 4 games are pretty bad. Like their best team that they got is Utah, and Cam Rising is out for the year. So they don't have a really tough schedule. Yeah. Like granted, he's doing it both ways, which is amazing. But it's hard for anybody but a quarterback to win. I think I looked at it in the last 20 years. A quarterback hasn't won only like 4 times. Yeah, not for sure. Which was like Mark Ingram, Derrick Henry, Reggie Bush, and then somebody else. Devonta Smith. So but everything else was like quarterback in the last like 20 years. I was like, Jesus. But I mean, it's a quarterback's trophy to lose. Yeah. Not to win it, to lose. Like you have to have no one. And I think we have Cam Ward just college football in general has Cam Ward to win it, and unless he does something to lose it, like we lose a game, it's done. Even if we lose and it's close, I think it's a wrap. But as long as we win out and he just does what he does, I think it's his to win.
Yeah, no, I think he's done what he needs to do on his end. At least to be in the talks, man. He's in the talks. He's got a chance for it.
I got faith that we got that one wrapped up. So Duke, Miami today. I'm predicting. I think the under is gonna hit only because I think it's gonna be a.
What is it?
It's high. It's like 50. It's 54 and a half. That's a lot of points. We missed out on 54 and a half by 5 points. I lost $1,000 last week. $1,000. I bet the over. I didn't think FSU was gonna dare them to just run it.
Yeah.
I mean, it is what it is, but it's like $1,000 win for me, I guess. I look at it. I lost the money, but at the end of the day, we didn't lose, so I'll take it. But yeah, I think it's going to be another one of those, like, I dare you to throw it against me kind of game, or I dare you to run it against us kind of games. I don't think Manny's going to want the explosive plays. Every interview this week has been limiting the explosive plays, and I think he's going to have the two safeties at the top and just try to shut them down and then just say, okay, run it against us, and we will.
That's Miami's game right now, though. That is Miami's game.
Yeah,
right
I'll take a running game. I mean, it's not pretty, it's not sexy. And people probably talk trash. Oh, they only won by 2 touchdowns. Like, imagine, you only won by 2 touchdowns, 3 touchdowns. You know, we only beat FSU by 3 touchdowns. Oh, God forbid. But listen, a W is a W, and as long as we keep riding that W, I'm good with it. Yeah, so I'm definitely happy with that. So we got that game. Then we got the biggest game of the week, which is where game day's at, is Ohio State, Penn State. I hate both of these teams. There's no better team that I could say, okay, at least I'll cheer for them. But I hate Ohio State more because of that 2002 robbery. I don't think Penn State will win. I don't think Penn State's very good. Ohio State's favored by 3. I just don't see Penn State beating Ohio State. I hope they do.
Yeah.
I hope they do, but I don't see it.
3 points. It seems close.
It is, and it's. I mean, they're 3-point. Penn State's 3-point underdogs at home, so they're playing at Happy Valley. But yeah, I don't see Penn State winning this game. I don't even know if it's going to be close. But
what do you feel like has been the biggest surprise in college football this year so
far? I think most people will say Miami being 8-0, but I think that was. Yeah. I think that, I mean, if we beat Florida, which I had strong feelings that we did, which is why I bet so much money on that, I knew we were going to cruise the rest of the way. But I think college, if you ask college football analysts, I think it's FSU being only so 1 win. Yeah. I mean, I think, I said it on this, yeah, I said it on here, episode 1 and 2, that they were going to be bad. You can't lose Jordan Travis, transfer. Trey Benson, transfer. Johnny Wilson, transfer. Keon Coleman, transfer. And not replace them and expect to be good. Now, if I would have bet, would I have bet that they've only won 1 game? No, I wouldn't have never bet that they would have won 1 game. But I thought they were going to lose at least like 4 or 5 games this year. I didn't think they were going to already have 7 losses. You know, and it's the beginning of November. So yeah, they're pretty bad. Yeah, I think most people. I mean, granted, they were ranked 7th or 10th coming into the season. So from going 10th ranked to 7 losses, and you've only got 1 win, I think that would be the biggest surprise for sure. I think Indiana being 8-0, big surprise. But if you watch Indiana, their coach came from James Madison. James Madison they almost went undefeated for the whole year last year. I think they lost like 1 game. And he brought like 13 players from that team. Yep. So he brought 13 players over from Indiana, and they've just been hitting the ground running. I mean, they haven't been in a bowl game in a long time, and I mean, they're bowl eligible. They're 8-0, cool. So it doesn't get better than that.
I like that.
So that one's dope. I have no beef with Indiana, so
yeah, I like
I'm
those
cool
Cinderella
with that.
Stories. I like that. That's cool.
Yeah, that one's a good one. Ole Miss, I think, being so bad.
To me, that doesn't surprise me. I think what surprised me is when people told me they were going to be good this year. Bro. I remember telling you that when you told me they were in the top 10, I was like, Ole Miss?
Yeah, I mean, they spent probably more money than us on transfers. They almost got pretty much almost everyone they wanted.
No,
I mean, they paid some money.
Bro, well, Ole Miss has money. They
Yeah,
got
no,
the bag.
they got that
They
old
got the
money.
bag.
Yeah, they got that old money,
Yeah.
that hottie toddy money. But it's crazy. I mean, they're not so bad. They're 6-2, but they lost 2 games they should have never lost.
And their wins haven't been like
They
impressive wins, bro.
They should be undefeated. They should not be 6-2. I think that one's a little surprising. I mean, but then Lane Kiffin does Lane Kiffin stuff, man. He'll have a nasty team like this, and then, I mean, drop games they're not supposed to. He was decent in FAU, but this isn't FAU anymore. So that one's surprising. Vanderbilt actually being decent, beating Alabama. That one's, I don't think that was on anybody's bingo card. So that one is surprising as well. Arkansas, I think Arkansas was picked probably like one of the dead last teams to win, or to be in the SEC, and they're 5-3 going into Ole Miss today. So if they win today, and their coach was on the hot seat, gonna get fired the whole 9, and they win today, now it's like, yo, is Lane gonna get fired because he's losing to teams like Arkansas? So that one's a little surprising. Army Navy lost their first game last week. But Army's undefeated, bro. 7-0.
Wow.
They play Air Force today.
What division do they play in, bro? What is it?
They are in. They're in the American. They're in the American. Yeah. So I think it's the AAC. Not obviously we're in the ACC. They're in the AAC. So Army's 7-0. The one game that's always on my bucket list that I need to go to soon is the Army Navy game every year. So they play. I don't know if you know, but so. It doesn't count.
Ship, no?
Huh?
Haven't they played this game like on a ship before?
Nah.
I feel like I've seen something. Maybe it was basketball, bro. It might have been a basketball
definitely
game.
not football.
It might have been a basketball game.
It's they play it every year. It's the last game of the year, so it's like it doesn't count towards if they were to go to the playoffs or not.
It's like an exhibition.
Sort of. Like it's on their record, but it's not. It doesn't count towards playoff seeding.
Yeah.
But every year they play it. They don't play it at home, so they play it at a big stadium. So like either MetLife or I think this year it's in Philly. I think last year it was in MetLife. But the environment is nuts.
Yeah, I can imagine.
It's nuts. Just like a bunch of Army people and a bunch of Navy people.
Yeah, I can fucking imagine.
Yeah, I would love to go to that game. And I think this year is going to be this year is going to be nuts. Army could be undefeated going into that game.
They get a playoff spot?
Yeah. I mean, if they go undefeated, sure. If they go undefeated, they're going to go. And what's crazy to me is that how, like, it's not like, okay, like I'm Miami and I want a kid to come over and transfer to us. It's just like, you have the grades? Yeah. Let's get you on the team. You got to be in the Army or in the Navy to be on this team. I mean, and the requirements to be on this team are just nuts. It's not like you just show up. You got to be in the armed forces. You got to have like certain amount of grades and all this stuff. And it's like, you're not supposed to be good. Like they're supposed to be all right.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe not even all right. But these people are ballers this year.
Who are they playing? Who are they beating? Who are their wins against?
All right, so Army.
Yeah.
Army played. So they played Lehigh. They won 42-7. They played FAU 24-7. They played Rice 37-14. They played Temple 42-14. They played Tulsa 49-7. They played UAB 44-10. They played East Carolina 45-28. The rest of their schedule: Air Force, North Texas, Notre Dame, UTSA, and then obviously the Army Navy game.
Well, Notre Dame, I guess, is a big game for them.
So Notre Dame played Navy last week, and they beat the crap out of Navy last week.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I mean, I'm going for Army for sure. Anything against Notre Dame. So we got that. So Army versus Air Force, definitely taking Army.
Talking about Notre Dame, I saw somebody at the game last week with convicts versus.
Yeah, I got one of those at home. Catholics versus
convicts t-shirt on.
Yeah, I got one of those at home from the last game.
And the poster.
We got Illinois versus Minnesota. Minnesota just beat USC. USC, another one. That's a big surprise that they're so trash. They paid $100 million to get Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma.
They weren't that good last year.
They set him up all this stuff, and he's recruiting, and they just suck.
Yeah.
They suck. So Illy versus Minnesota, that's a hard one. I might go Minnesota on that one. I might go Minnesota, even though Illinois is ranked 24th. I might go Minnesota on that one. You got Oregon, Michigan. I'm hoping Michigan could pull it out, but I think Oregon is going to win that. Georgia, Florida. Georgia's going to beat the dog crap out of Florida.
That's bad.
If they want to, they could put up 1,000,000 points. They should. Georgia hasn't been so great either, but Florida is Florida. So Iowa State, Texas Tech. I got Iowa State. Indiana versus Michigan State. Indiana, definitely. Kansas State versus Houston. Kansas State. Texas A&M versus South Carolina. Texas A&M got a new quarterback, so they benched their starter, Weigman. They were down like 15 points or something last week. They put in this new kid, Reed, and he lights it up. They come back. They won the game against LSU. So he looked good. I'm thinking, and South Carolina's been decent this year. I think Texas A&M take this game. Clemson versus Louisville. I'm hoping Louisville takes it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be closer than a lot of people think. I'm hoping. Louisville doesn't just like sleepwalk out there. So I think Clemson will take it, but I'm hoping Louisville will take it. Kentucky, Tennessee. Kentucky's weird. Kentucky has good games and they win when they shouldn't, but then they lose everything else. They're 3-5. I'm hoping Kentucky to take it, but I think Tennessee will take it. I'm not sold on Nico. I thought Nico was going to be better than he is. Hasn't been good at all. Pitt versus SMU. So this is a game where Pitt is undefeated as well right now. But you hope that Pitt wins this and then they lose somewhere else. Because if SMU wins this game, they pretty much coast.
Is this their last ACC game, SMU?
No. The rest of the schedule is all ACC.
Okay.
But the rest of their games is Boston College, Virginia, Cal. I don't think they drop any of those. So if we're going to hope that they lose, this is the game you hope that they lose. And then Pitt will lose somewhere else. So I think Pitt still has Clemson. Yeah, they got Virginia, Clemson, Louisville, Boston College. So you hope that Pitt could win this and then lose somewhere else. And then SMU just lose this game. And then it clears a path for Miami to go ACC championship as long as they take care of business. Boise, San Diego State played last night. I had Boise winning that anyways. But Genty, 31 carries, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't think that's the performance that they're looking for the Heisman.
Not on 32 touches, bro.
Yeah, I think the last 2 weeks have hurt him his chances for the Heisman, which is good for our boy. But he's still a baller. But they're abusing the crap out of him.
Yeah.
They're running him to the ground, which is crazy.
If you're touching the ball 32 times like that too, bro, you're doing it against a defense that is waiting for you. Like literally on every snap they're waiting.
Yeah, I mean he's lucky he hit a big one. I think it was like a 35-yarder, but at the first half he only had like 35 yards.
Yeah, no, I mean 32 touches, 100 and what? How many yards you said?
149. 32 touches. So that's 4.8 yards per carry.
It's not bad.
But he was at one point he was at 15 touches and 32 yards.
Yeah.
So it was bad. I was like, oh, this is looking good for us.
Yeah.
But he ended up hitting it. Yeah, he hit a 35-yarder. That was his longest run. But yeah, I mean, San Diego State's not that great, and you expect him to get more yards than that versus San Diego State. The rest of their games are, again, weak. They got Nevada, San Jose State, Wyoming, Oregon State. It's not like they play a murderer's row. At least with Miami, I could point at Duke's defense being top 25. I could look at we got Syracuse. Their offense is high powered. Wake Forest, not great. We could all agree on that. But then you got Georgia Tech. Their defense is good. And their quarterback is coming back by the time we play them. So at least we have a schedule where you can look at and you can be like, all right, I could give him the Heisman because look at the schedule they're playing. You know, Miami's strength of record, I pulled this up yesterday, number 2 in the country. Their strength of record is number 2 in the country. Colorado can't compete with that. Boise State can't compete with that. The only team that has a better strength of record than us is Georgia. That's it. Number 2 is Miami. So there's no, I say it all the time. There's men lie, women lie. Numbers don't lie. We got the second strength of record. Basically, it says is like the teams that we play, what is their record? And the only thing holding us back from number one is really FSU with one win and 7 losses. So we got the case for the Heisman, for sure. So then going to the NFL, tell us a little bit about your team.
My team.
Listen, my team is just as trash. I don't even check for my team anymore, so there's that.
I don't know what's gonna. I think it's probably a wash for the Dolphins this year, man. I think the season's probably done.
2-5.
2-5.
I think so.
We got Buffalo tomorrow in Buffalo.
Hey, if you win that game, then you could get your hopes back up. But you lose that game, and then
if
it's
we
done.
win that game, in our division, it's tight right now. It doesn't look crazy in our division right now. I want to say the Bills are maybe 2-3 games up. I think.
Yeah, the Bills are 6-2. The Jets are 3-6. Dolphins 2-5. Patriots 2-6.
You know, I think if Miami goes to Buffalo and wins, I think we're back. We have a chance for the division, bro. But I think for me to say that we're gonna go to Buffalo and win and beat the Bills, look at Tua's record against the Bills, bro. We don't play the Bills well. For whatever reason, we don't play the Bills well.
Yeah, I think you lose this game, and it's pretty much thinking about next year already.
Yeah, for sure. I agree. I think that game last week, that's wild. I can't believe we ended up losing that game against the Cardinals. But you see the difference in the offense when Tua is back. When he's there,
for sure.
The offense is clicking. It's moving. We're scoring points. Night and day difference, bro. Night and day difference. Defense didn't do well. They couldn't play well. They didn't contain Kyler Murray well. Gave up way too many easy-ass throws for him to make, bro, and just lost the game. I don't know. I think it doesn't look good for us this year.
Yeah, again, if you lose that game, it's pretty much a wrap. Same thing for my Cowboys, though. The Cowboys are 3-4?
Yeah, the Cowboys
lose against the Falcons tomorrow, and it's
Eagles,
pretty much a done deal.
Pretty much running away with it over there, too, bro. Yeah, I don't know. On to next year. But I feel like I think Tua's like come back and proven himself as that guy. Like, this is why you gave me that bag. You gave me that bag because this is what happens when I play.
Yeah, no, I mean, they're definitely better than with Tua. There's no question about it.
I agree.
Same conversation we had. Is he going to be the reason you win a game? No. But is he going to be the reason that you lose a game?
Yeah.
The answer is also no.
Yeah, no.
He's going to get you what you need. Give you the checkdowns, give you the big throws. But he's not going to go out there and like will himself to win the game. But you don't need that if you have all the other pieces around him. Give him the pieces around him. Give him an offensive line to protect him.
I think we're our best. The Dolphins are at their best when Tua doesn't have to be that hero.
Exactly.
What you're saying.
You don't need him to be a hero. Just give him the pieces around him, protect him, and you win. It's that simple. He's good enough to win you games.
I would say, like in the last 2 years, our defense has not been great. We haven't been terrible, but we haven't been great. And I think when you have an average quarterback like that, you need your defense to win you some games. And our defense is not doing that for us right now. It's all on the offense. If we don't put up 30-plus points, we're completely out of these games. So I feel like Miami's got to take a look in the mirror this year during the offseason and probably put a big focus on that, bro. We brought this guy in from Baltimore. The mentality is not transferring. I don't see us bullying people on the field, You
got to have the guys on the field, though, too. You got to spend money on the right players. Draft the right players, spend money on the right players. And it's easier said than done because you could get a player that has been historically good, and then they just have bad seasons.
Yeah, we brought on what's his name? Bradley Chubb. Gave Bradley Chubb a bag, bro. we gave this man a bag. We let Christian Wilkins walk.
Yeah.
And it's like we let Van Ginkel walk. Van Ginkel had, before last week's game, Van Ginkel had more defensive touchdowns than the Miami Dolphins did all year, bro. He had more touchdowns himself than our offense did all year. We let him walk. We could have got him for not a crazy amount of money, bro.
Yeah, if you want to win, you could win. I mean, you just got to spend the money.
You got to spend the money. you gotta, like you said, you gotta recruit. The same philosophy from college that you're talking about applies in the NFL, bro. You gotta develop young talent. You gotta retain your young talent, and you gotta build on that, bro. We let everybody walk,
Yeah.
and everybody that we brought in for bargain prices, we're getting bargain performances from them, bro.
Can't do that. So Chiefs 7-0. They've been
On a
chiefing
roll.
along. I mean,
The Chiefs have been chiefing.
the Chiefs have been chiefing. Jaguars have been the Jaguars
Yeah, bro.
sucking. Trevor Lawrence has been horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible.
Which he always has been. The world is just seeing it now. I've
Yeah.
never been a fan of Trevor Lawrence, bro. I've never been impressed by him.
Ravens started off the season really bad. Now they're 5-3.
On fire. They
So-
look just like I thought they would.
Commanders. Jaden
Jaden
Daniels.
Daniels.
I just want to episode 1 or 2.
think
I
it was
said it.
definitely one.
I said it. I said he's looking like he's gonna be a beast, and
Yeah.
he's a beast. So NFL's been,
He's looking the part.
NFL's been. I think that's the craziest story for sure.
I would say either that or the Vikings, bro.
Yeah, well, Josh Darnold,
Sam Darnold.
or Sam Darnold. Sorry, Sam Darnold, killing it. I mean, he's been on fire. You know, he got dropped from every team he's ever been on, and
Bro,
now he's
imagine Jets fans watching Geno thrive in Seattle, now watching Sam Darnold ball out in Minnesota.
crazy. It's the Jets. It's not them. It's the Jets. That's been. I think those are the two craziest ones. Everything else has been pretty. I mean, and I guess the Cowboys sucking so bad, and the Dolphins sucking so bad. Those are the craziest stories for me. Because the Dolphins, I had high hopes for, even though I'm not a Dolphins fan. The Cowboys, I mean, I said the Cowboys didn't really upgrade anywhere. So I didn't think they were going to be great. I didn't know they were going to be as crappy. But, I mean, you get what you don't pay for.
Dak is Dak, bro. I will say
I hate
that.
Dak.
Dak is Dak.
Dak's trash.
I don't.
Dak's trash.
He's as expected right now, bro.
Yeah,
His
he's
performance this year has been as expected.
He's trash. Trash. So, moving on from the NFL, because that's depressing. New York Comic Con. I was at New York Comic Con, posted some videos. Mr. Gary V said he was going to visit. So, Gary, I'm holding you to that.
Yeah.
It was a crazy experience. It's like nothing I've ever seen as far as like the amount of people there. It's insane. And like I saw people online saying that it wasn't even as crazy as it in years past, which is crazy to me. Because like there's no elbow room. It's literally like you're waiting like 4 or 5 minutes just to move up, like just trying to get in and see everything. It was absolutely insane. The costumes, the cosplaying.
Oh, bro.
Like I love that crowd. It's not my thing, but I love how serious they take and how passionate they are.
Bro, yeah.
But I was out there because Piece of the Game invited me to go live on eBay. So we streamed live on eBay with Kaka Wow's WB100.
Did they read you my groupie messages I was writing?
Nah.
So when y'all were streaming, I was in the live stream. I pulled the app up and I was just watching. And I was dropping groupie messages in there. I was like, oh my God, is that Joe? And I was, tell Joe I said hi, please.
No, they didn't say that. We honestly, it got cut short because the internet went out. But like, we were streaming live. We did the break. I did the break. I think I did like 2 or 3 box openings. But there was like 40 more boxes on order
queue,
that we could have opened, but the internet went out.
Damn.
And I was like, oh, man, that sucks. But we were chucking packs in the crowd. I had people coming up to get packs. It was awesome. It was definitely a crazy experience. I would definitely do that again. It was super cool. I'd never been to Comic-Con before. Obviously, I know what Comic-Con is. I've seen the videos, and I knew it was going to be crazy. But then actually going there and just seeing the crazy was crazy.
No, so they say there's only 2 shows that rival the one in San Diego. And New York is one of them. But then there's one in Utah that I didn't know about that's massive also. Did you ever hear about that?
No.
Bro, I've never heard of this show ever. So supposedly it's not called Comic-Con because San Diego Comic-Con sued them because they started drawing crowd from the West Coast over there. But look into it. That show is just as big as New York is.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, that's crazy. No, yeah, this show was nuts. Um, and then not a Mets fan, not a Dodgers fan. Even though I did go for the Dodgers, we're gonna go for that. I did go for the Dodgers to win the World Series, but Saturday was it Saturday night? No, Friday night. Friday night, the Mets played the Dodgers, Game 5. Um, that was probably one of the best baseball games I've been to in
I
my
didn't
life.
even realize how big that game was when you told me you were at the game. I didn't
Bro,
realize
that
it
was
like
probably
like a divisional.
that was probably the best game I've ever been to in my life. And I love how I don't love the Yankee fan ripping the ball out of Mookie Betts' glove. I think that's ridiculous. That's way too much. But I love how the Mets fans are just so, and Yankees fans too, the ones that are not as crazy, but they're just so they don't care. They love their team. They're vulgar, but but they're passionate. And the stuff that was coming from the crowd to the players and just in general, and how hype it was. They ended up winning the game. I went dressed up in my Hurricanes jacket. I've never gotten so many compliments. Every time I go to New York and I wear Miami Hurricane stuff, it's like the most there's so many alumni in New York.
Yeah.
So people are like, yeah. This one guy I sat close to was like, yo, my son goes to Miami now. Can I take a picture with you to throw up to you?
I thought you knew that, dude.
No. and that's the photo I posted. I literally, he came up to me, his wife took the photo, we threw up to you, and we were just chatting the whole night. And they just thought I was a Mets fan. And I was like, I'm not a Mets fan, I'm not a Dodgers fan, I don't care. I'm just here for the experience. So I didn't wear anything, I wouldn't buy anything Mets because I'm not a Mets fan. But I was just there and I was just cheering just for a good game, and it ended up being an amazing game. Mets took that just homer after homer. My boy Andy Pages, who plays for the Dodgers, 2 home runs that night though, a Cuban baby. Let's go. He has a debut patch in Update Chrome coming out in next Wednesday. So that one's gonna be a nice chase. Thinking it's probably only going to be 5 Gs, maybe 10. But still, he looked like a baller in that series. But that game was absolutely amazing. Saturday, the Hurricanes played Louisville. So there's a bar in the city called Clinton Hall.
That was a good-ass game, too.
Yeah, there's a bar in the city called Clinton Hall. The owner is a Miami alum. And the whole bar is just decked out in UM stuff. So bunch of UM people went there, and we were just watching the game. That was nuts too. That was a great experience. So not actually be at the game, that's the next best thing.
Yeah.
Just to chill at the bar and just hang out with a bunch of UM fans.
Yeah,
so that was cool as well. Overall, a lot less homeless people this time because I didn't stay in Times Square. Definitely the majority is in Times Square. I stayed in the Lower West Side, close to Battery Park. But the only sucky thing is that it takes so long just to get to Javits Center. But there was no homelessness as much. But then as soon as I got off on the train in Javits Center, it's oh, here it goes again, which is crazy. But New York is New York, I guess.
Gotham City.
Yeah, Gotham City is definitely at its finest with the problems that they have.
No, that's cool though. When I used to live in Chicago, I used to go to this Miami Dolphins bar. Same kind of ordeal. The guy that owned the bar, he grew up a Miami Dolphins fan, and his family relocated to Chicago. So literally, all the Dolphins fans that lived in Chicago would meet up every Sunday to go watch the games at this bar, and it was lit, bro. It's
Nice.
It was like being back home. You know, it's
Yeah.
I was missing home, and this was a piece of home that I used to get the vibe in.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, Miami has a lot of alumni in different cities, especially big cities. It's probably the same bar. I don't know the name of it, but in Chicago, there's a bar that all the alumni go to. I follow all the alumni pages. There's a Chicago alumni page. There's an Atlanta one, a New York one, Houston, LA. So any big city you're at, if they're playing a game, you can go to the bar, and that's where they all hang out. So it's crazy, but yeah, definitely that New York one is famous because people know, and you go in and you're I hope it's a big crowd, and then you get there and at first it was it was decent, but by the second quarter it was insane. It was just packed. The guy from the bar runs up to the top of because there's seating at the top. He runs up to the top of the steps. He goes, ah, gives you the cheer. So it's insane. That whole atmosphere was dope, super dope.
That's cool.
Yeah, so Comic-Con would definitely love to go back next year for sure. I would definitely go back next year. And if they're gonna pay me to go, I'll go again. So make sure you talk to my agent, and my agent is me, by the way. So, but yeah, the Fanatics Fest got pushed back, so supposed to go down this weekend. We're supposed to be there right now, but it got pushed back. I've heard rumors of January. I've also heard rumors of it just not taking place. So until Fanatics says something or Top says something, don't know. But I mean, I've heard both. I've heard January, and then I've heard just not gonna happen. I've heard the LA one is also not gonna happen, and they're just gonna do New York in June. So we'll see. I mean, either ways, we'll be there. Wherever it is, I'd definitely be there. New York in June, I'm good with that. Yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Hot, so. Bro. Ugh.
I mean, it's hot here, so, and now it's raining. But yeah, Fanatics Fest. I know they were at. So Topps has a booth at Comic-Con, but I know some of the top dogs at Topps were at Comic-Con, and they're just looking at how everything is spaced out, how everything is set up, how everything flows, how to get people there, what kind of people you want there. You want a nice crowd of people there. I think, like I told you before, the activations and the booths should be synced together. There shouldn't be like activations here and tables over here, because the people that don't care about cards are they're never gonna make their way over there.
Yeah, no,
you should force them to walk through the crowd and experience it, because then maybe they see a card, they're like, oh, I wouldn't mind buying that. How much is it? Oh, it's $5-10. You know, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but that's a sale that you probably never had before.
Yeah.
You know, if they didn't walk over there.
Or a new member to the hobby that never existed before.
Exactly. Yeah. So we got to look forward to that. On the products rise, you got Update Chrome coming out November 13th. So that should be a banger. You got probably for sure better than last year. The debut patches. You got Ellie De La Cruz debut patch coming. You got Jason Dominguez. You got Paul Skeens. You got Yamamoto. You got Andy Pages. I mean, it's going to be so stacked with the amount of debut patches. Yeah, I think the first day, all the product that's going to get ripped, if no big debut patches are hit, the product's just going to start skyrocketing. I think people are waiting for that first day to see what happens, who hits, what patch, if a patch is hit. And if nothing's hit, you could expect that product to just skyrocket.
Yeah. There's going to be some crazy bounties out for those too.
Oh my God. Yeah. If Anthony Volpe got 150 and Jordan Walker, who's just not good anymore, got 100, I could imagine what Paul Skeens, Ellie, Jason, like all these players are going to get. It's going to be
Yoshi
nuts.
Just won the chip.
Yoshi, yeah. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts. I could imagine if they would have done it back in 2018 with Shohei. Oh my God, would have broke the internet. But yeah, that's definitely one of my new favorite products. Update Chrome never used to obviously have debut patches, so it was always a decent product depending on the rookie class. Yeah. But the fact that they have that now, I think that just makes it one of the best products of the year.
Yeah, no facts.
You can't replicate that. It's a real debut patch that they actually wore, so that one's dope. Ginter and Allen just came out. That's been going wild. We're pretty much sold out of it, and we got a good amount of cases. We had over 10 cases, and they're pretty much all gone.
Yeah, it doesn't surprise me.
We've had people come in the store asking for it. We've streamed it online. It's just been absolutely nuts, which is a good thing because you want good products to come out, and that's definitely one of them. And it's not one that I expected to be. Like, I like Ginter and Allen because of the weirdness. Yeah. And I've always said it, my favorite thing is the dinosaur fossils. But the fact that people are, like, catching on and they love it, I love it.
You just open up the market, bro. You limit... It's a baseball product, you're limiting yourself to people who are baseball fans to buy that. There's so much in there. People that don't even like sports are buying
Get that boxes. Daddy Yankee auto. Get that Daddy Yankee auto. Gasolina! Yeah, so that just came out. Star Wars Galaxy just came out. I haven't seen that ripped yet. We've sold a couple boxes in the store. I haven't seen that ripped though, but I'm a Star Wars nerd, so anything Star Wars I'm good for. Definitely would like to see how that product looks this year. I mean, I've seen the photos online, but nothing like in person. So we got to start ripping that on stream. I got to see how that looks. Yeah, we got football products are starting to come out. We've had a couple score and stuff like that, but you're gonna start seeing more 24 product come out. So the Jaden Chase is gonna be real. Bowman football just got allocated, so we got a couple cases of Bowman football coming out. I just need my Cam Ward auto in a Miami jersey, and that's good. I don't need it to be super low numbered, but I'll take a Cam Ward jersey in an auto, and I'm good with that. I'm sure it's gonna go for a good amount of money.
No, yeah.
But I'll take one of those. But we got Bowman coming out, and then they just started this new thing. We just got offered it yesterday, I think. Bowman U under 21. I thought it was gonna be like football or something, but I clicked on the thing and it was soccer. So under 21 soccer. So I'm sure like Benja would be on there. So anybody that's under 21 and plays for the U.S. national team. Or, I mean, the world, actually, not just the U.S. national team. So it's the world because there's other players there from other countries. That one looks pretty cool. I mean, there's always young talent. Lamine Yamal's only 17, so.
I was going to say, how old is he?
Yeah, so
another big name in there.
You got a lot of potential there. There's always new young players that are coming up. So I think that one's a dope one. But yeah, I mean, we're gonna start hitting some good products here at the end of the year.
I was about to say, bro, I'm excited for these next couple Pokemon releases too, man.
Hey,
like Surging Sparks.
Surging Sparks has gone wild.
Yeah.
Surging Sparks has gone wild. I knew it was gonna be good. I said it that it was gonna be good. I didn't know it was gonna be as hyped as it is. Like this is the first product, not including 151. I don't include 151 because it's an anomaly. But this is the first product of this era that is just like the hype is just insane.
Yeah.
Insane. I mean, we sold out, and it doesn't even come out until next week.
It's not just us either. Trying to find some pre-order options.
Yeah, we've been sold out for 2 weeks now. It's insane.
Nuts.
And then you got Prismatic that just got announced. So Prismatic is the EV set.
They also announced that they're gonna do the Master Ball. Versus, bro. So
that should be wild. That'll be the first time in English.
Did you see the promo card fire?
Yeah, no, that's going to be something that we're going to need. Like, the good thing is that we have a relationship with Pokemon that pretty much no other store has. So we're going to need like 4 or 5 pallets.
Yeah.
A pallet holds 144 cases. 144 cases. There's 6 boxes in a case. You could do the math. You're talking about $400,000. I
feel like
Pokemon.
I don't say this a lot anymore with the modern stuff, but buy some and put some away.
Prismatic is gonna be legit.
Buy some. If you can get your hand on like some Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs, buy some, put them away.
Yeah, it's gonna be insane. I'm looking forward to that Prismatic. I'm not a big fan of the Terra with the jewels and everything.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters though because literally like the photo has every single evolution on it.
Exactly.
It's gonna be stupid.
It's gonna be nuts, bro.
It's gonna be. I've said it. I said it was gonna be Evolving Part 2.
Exactly.
It's gonna be Evolving Part 2.
Literally, that's exactly what I was gonna say.
And you give people the alt arts that they want. Like give them alt arts like Evolving Skies. Forget about it. They might as well open up a Pokemon bank tomorrow because what they're gonna make printing that set is gonna be insane.
Yeah, it's gonna be nuts. I'm excited for that. And
yeah, Surging is gonna be nice, but I think nothing is gonna touch that EV set, the Prismatic. Then you got the tag team set in, I think it was like January, but January in Japan. And then you got the Team Rocket got redug up again in March. So you got tag team in January in Japan, and then March Team Rocket. Like they're closing out this year or this era on fire.
Yeah.
You know, the first half of this era was
trash.
It was so crap. A lot of people lost money in this first half of the era, but this last half, it's going to be on fire. Like, you're not going to be able to have enough money. If you're a store, I think a lot of stores are not going to have enough money to buy all the Topps products, buy all the Pokemon products, and buy all the Panini products, which is a good and a bad problem. Yeah. So you just got to pick and choose what you want. But yeah, we're gonna have some pallets of prismatic. That's for sure. I didn't order as much of surging as I thought, and we sold out. That again, I didn't think it was gonna be as hype. We'll get more after a week or two, whenever. But yeah, no, prismatic right out the gate because it's only ETBs. Obviously, it's a special set.
Yeah, so they dropped Pokemon Center dropped the Pokemon Center ETBs yesterday. They sold out. Like
Oh yeah, I expected to.
They'll drop some more, but
Yeah, they'll drop more. But yeah, no, it's gonna be something it's insane. The hype is insane,
it's nuts.
which is good. We want that, you
Yeah,
know,
no.
because all TCGs have been pretty much dying. Even One Piece has been having a hard time. But yeah, Pokemon being back is a good thing. Just keep up the good sets, and people will respond.
Stop making new Pokemon. Just stick to what we got. No more.
Yeah,
no,
I mean,
ones.
make new good Pokemon. I feel like not every Pokemon is a hit. Just think about it. You got like 3 years. Every 3 years is when they announce new Pokemon. So use those 3 years wisely.
Yeah.
I mean, they do have a team dedicated to Pokemon, but design them better.
Way better.
Design
Please.
them better.
Way better, please.
Yeah, I think we're good. I got to catch this game here. So we are good to go. You got anything last to say?
Nah, never. Yeah, and not the Dolphins.
Yeah. Until next time, we will be back. Episode number 8. I'll probably film it from the new store. We haven't dropped any hints on the new store. New store is getting close to being ready.
Be a huge difference from what we saw last.
Yeah, from what you saw last.
Yeah.
I've been working. You see these hands got paint on them. But yeah, catch us next week, episode 8. We out of here.